Hello gentlemen, today I'm going to show you the best coverage defense in Madden 25 as of right now. So this coverage is starting to become more and more popular because people are realizing that there's not enough abilities and stock routes in the game to properly attack this. And the coverage we're going to be breaking down today is cover 2 man. But first, just a quick reminder that I dropped my UNLV go-go offense. So if you're playing college football still, this is one of the best offenses in the game. I definitely had a ton of fun making this one, and it's extremely explosive. So go check that out on acemadden.com. Use code GOGO for 25% off on monthly membership. You'll gain access to every single college football scheme and every single Madden 25 scheme that we currently have on the site. So the formation I'm going to demonstrate this out of is going to be dime 3-2, otherwise known as dollar. But this can be done with any cover 2 man in the game. You do preferably want to have a lot of speed on the field, but it doesn't need to be dollar. It can be like nickel, it can be dime. It's up to you. But with cover 2 man, we have the best man coverage in the game, and I'll go ahead and explain why that happens. So let's go ahead and press our defense. So we have press across the board. We have two safeties high, and by nature, cover 2 man, the shading on this is going to be shade down or shade underneath and shade inside. So if you look at these cornerbacks, you're going to see they're to the inside shoulder of these receivers. So that indicates the shade inside. And then if you look at the press animations that we're going to get across the board, that indicates that we're shaded underneath. So this is probably the best version of man coverage in the game because it's so aggressive, because we have safeties over the top to help these cornerbacks so they can be as aggressive as possible. Next, I'm going to show you how to improve cover 2 man so we can cover up some of its weaknesses and you can run this defense at a high level. But before I do that, make sure to drop a like, because if we hit 300 likes on this video, I'll show you multiple ways to attack cover 2 man, both fundamentally and within the scope of Madden, because this is a defense that you're going to start seeing a lot more often, not just because I'm uploading a video on it, because it's already catching fire in the Madden community. Anybody who watches Pro Madden or plays competitive Madden is experiencing cover 2 man right now, so you need to know how to beat it. So drop a like, let's hit 300 likes. Okay, now let's talk about how to improve cover 2 man. So the first thing you want to do is protect yourself against the run as much as possible. So you don't really want to keep this spread D-line. It's going to cost you in the run game. So pinch your D-line with D-pad left and then left stick down. And then I recommend crashing them down as well. So D-pad left and then slant inside, which is right stick down. And after you do this, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to zone or spy this guy that's blitzing. Now, this might not be the case if you're using a different formation, but if you're using dollar, definitely put him in a middle third or spy him. There's going to be multiple ways that you can do this, and I'm going to try to go over most of them. But this is like the basic way that you can protect yourself in cover 2 man. So let's have a look. If you don't like what you see, you can switch off that spy and go guard something else. Yes, the pass rush is going to be a little slower because you are sending 3 and you're not blitzing your user. And you don't want to blitz your user because you do want to be able to switch stick. This is a really good switch stick defense. You can go switch stick onto a safety. You can switch stick between the safeties, and it's just very good. Plus, if we use the spy, they're not going to have that option to run with their quarterback. And for those of you who watch football, you know that a fast quarterback can be very lethal against man coverage because everybody's manned up running with their guy. And if you don't have a spy, it can be trouble. Now, I will say using the middle third is going to be a better option if you're not really worried about the quarterback scrambling, because you can click off and now he's going to go protect the deep middle part of the field. So like right there, he was very useful because B gained some separation and the middle third helped on that. So in those cases, it's very helpful. And to make matters worse, there's actually some people who are taking it a step further and only sending 2 people at the quarterback. So what they're doing is they're pressing, pinching D-line, crash down, and then they'll drop one of their defensive linemen. In this case, we'll just do the left of screen, put him into a spy, and then put this guy into a middle third. And this is just like, believe it or not, this is just super baggy. Even though the pass rush is going to take forever to come in, like what is open? You tell me. Like X, sure, but he stops running. You can switch stick between all these players. Pass rush is eventually going to come in, and they can't scramble because you have a spy on the field. So this is an extremely annoying coverage to face. Now let's talk more about shading. So like I said, cover 2 man is by default shade down, shade inside. So as soon as you call the play, that's the shading you get. If that isn't the shading you want on a specific player, we can change that. So like right now we know Lamb is running a corner route and we have inside shade, which in that case you don't want inside shade because he's going to be breaking outside. So what you can do is hit Y or triangle and then A for individual. Select the receiver that is going to break out or the one that you want to change the shading on, which is Y. And then we're going to shade in this case towards the sideline. So the sideline's on the left in this case. We're going to shade left with left stick left or right stick left. And that changes the shading on the player. If you noticed, he jumps outside and now he's playing outside shade and he's going to play this corner route a lot better. So that corner route is not even throwable. And that's how we improve the coverage. Like if we know a route that a guy's on, we don't have to use inside shade. We can change it to outside. So individual shading is going to help you a ton because if you spam this coverage, people are going to try their absolute best to separate and they're going to try every route. If they have access to zigs, that's going to be one of the first things that they try. But if you shade a zig outside, it's oftentimes just going to get pressed into the dirt. Like zigs are actually slightly nerfed versus man coverage. Yes, they're good. Yes, they're one of the best routes to have versus man, but they're not a guaranteed win, especially versus shade down, shade out. So make sure you individually shade if you want to take some of these routes away. But that's pretty much the gist of this cover 2 man. There's other things you can do like putting your safeties into thirds instead of keeping the halves. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to waste your time with that. But if you really want to improve the cover 2 man even more, that's something you can do. So hopefully this helps you guys out getting more stops in Madden 25. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like. Let's hit 300 so I can show you some ways to attack this cover 2 man. And then if you're new, make sure to subscribe. And then as always, if you want to get better at the game, go to acemadden.com, become a member. You'll gain access to every scheme we have on the site. See you guys later.